All right, it's time for RankEmz. Birdman, how we doing?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself? Happy Monday.
I'm all right. Happy Monday. We do this every Monday. It feels like it comes around way too quick. I see an unfamiliar face. Is that Dano on the screen here?
It is indeed. What's up, guys?
Hey, Dano.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, for those of you out there on the edge of your seat, this is our first guest host, Dano. Pretty sweet Sixers warm-up jersey there.
Oh,
nice touch.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we're going to change things up a little bit here tonight. Instead of our standard RankEmz, we got a guest that's going to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe, whatever you want to say, just not head-to-toe. That's weird. But Birdman, as always, has our topic of the night. And what do we got? Let's kick it off.
All right. So, hey, Wheelz and Dano. I hope you and your family both had a good Thanksgiving. It's it's hard to believe that we're already into this goddamn Christmas holiday season.
Language.
I
don't know.
As I was kind of sitting there at Thanksgiving, I was thinking about all the things I'm thankful for this year. And in general, I think I'm thankful for a lot of the friends I have. Not all, but I am thankful for some. Everyone, always has a few of those friends that are just around, and you can't really get rid of them, so you just let them be, and you can't really kick them out. So
we all know who you're talking about. We all know who you're talking about.
Some of them might be on this video chat. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm not naming names, right? So with that said, today is our first guest ranker on RankEmz. We would like to welcome in our buddy Dano. So I think it's exciting. It's kind of a new chapter in RankEmz, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of keep doing this.
Yeah.
All we ask is that you don't blow it. That's all we ask.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. I enjoy every Monday popping it on once I get my butt into the office and I turn it on. It's a nice little distraction. So keep it up. Nice. You guys are doing a good job.
Thanks for being 33% of our fan base.
But it is opposite day. So
yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So, since you have listened to some of our episodes, you kind of know what we do here. I'm going to give us the topic for this week. We'll go around the horn, discuss. Wheelz, I think Dano will lead it off, then we'll switch to Wheelz. We good with that?
Yeah, I think being the guest, you got to go first.
It better be hockey.
House gets the chance to win.
So
better be hockey,
right.
Logos.
Well, we'll see here. So, on the topic of friendships and friends, I really thought today would be a great time for us to do a Foxhole Friends episode where we basically rank each of our friends and tell us who we would want to have in a foxhole if the shit hit the fan.
Are you being serious? Is this really what we're doing tonight?
No, this can't be it.
No.
Okay.
No, we're not doing it.
I was going to be like, nobody. First of all, nobody cares who our friends are, right? And second of all, we wouldn't have any friends by the end of that. So
not doing it. I did wear my 12th Armored Division shirt for the Foxhole Friends episode, but no, just that was just for some shits and giggles.
Couple laughs. Get a couple laughs in early. I like it.
You guys would lose 90% of your followers.
Yeah,
we did that.
I know. So we'll save that episode for when our Patreon or our OnlyFans is set up. Smitty's kind of working on that right now. So in all seriousness, today's topic is going to be a throwback with some nostalgia for us. When we kind of think about how we consume video content today, it's really kind of all about the streaming. Streaming shows release a full season all at once. You can just sit there and watch episode after episode, just keep clicking next. The way we consume television today is completely different than we did back in the day, right? We have the YouTubes, the Hulus, Netflix, streaming cable, anything you can imagine. But when we were kids, none of that existed, right? So back in the day, what got us excited? And one thing that really kind of came to mind was TGIF every Friday. All right. So today we're going to be ranking TGIF shows from back in the 90s. I'll give a little bit of background. First, I'll list out the shows to give these two an opportunity to kind of put down some of their thoughts. So we have six shows that we're going to be ranking. These are all from the first run of TGIF. So number 1 is Full House. Number 2, Family Matters. Number 3, Perfect Strangers.
Slow it down there, hotshot.
All right, sorry.
All right. I didn't know Perfect, but I guess I knew that.
Early on, Perfect Strangers was in there, yep. Number 4, Dinosaurs. Number 5, Step by Step. And number 6, Boy Meets World. So I think tonight we'll have a little bit of a longer discussion because we do have 6 to rank, but I did want to include all 6. There are a few others that definitely kind of were in and out of the lineup in that 90s time frame, but these are the 6 I think that kind of made most sense. Okay. So as you guys are kind of sitting there putting together some of your thoughts, I'm just going to give a little bit of background. So the first run of TGIF premiered on ABC on September 22nd, 1989. This was one of the first attempts at a network to have to brand a specific time block. With TGIF, ABC hit it out of the park. The TGIF block dominated ratings with the key 18 to 49 demographic for most of the 90s. The ratings started to dip in the late 90s, and the first run was completed on September 8th, 2000. All the shows we'll be ranking today are from that first run when we personally were kind of consuming these types of shows. There was a second run that lasted from 2003 to 2005, and then a final third run from 2018 to 2019. None of these other runs ever came close to the ratings of that first 11-year run. So the first show we mentioned, Full House. For those out there that don't know, it's the story of the Tanner family along with some other friends and family. Lasted for 192 episodes across 8 seasons. Netflix even recently ran a sequel series called Fuller House for 5 seasons from 2016 to 2020. Number 2, Family Matters. It's the story of the Winslow family from Chicago, but is most well known for the neighbor Steve Urkel. There were 215 episodes across 9 seasons. This show premiered on TGIF. Perfect Strangers was a show that existed for a few seasons before TGIF. The show followed Larry Appleton as he lived with his cousin from Mediterranean Europe, Balki.
Balki Baltagamus, Meatballs. We'll get to that. But forgot about that show.
It lasted a lot longer than I thought. 150 episodes across 8 seasons. That kind of was surprising.
What city was it set in?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
A lot of these were. Okay, all right.
Number 4 was Dinosaurs. This was not a full-time TGIF mainstay, but it did appear between 1990 and 93 during certain seasons. The show centered around a dinosaur family named the Sinclairs. It portrayed them as a normal family where the dad Earl worked, the mom Fran took care of the 3 kids. This only lasted 65 episodes across 4 seasons. Number 5, Step by Step. This was a show about two single parents, Frank Lambert and Carol Foster, each with 3 kids. They marry and become a blended family. They live together with Cody Lambert, who lived in the garage. 160 episodes across. No,
did he have a trailer? He had a trailer in the driveway or something? Yeah,
that's right. He did. That's right.
I don't know. It turned out to be he went to jail for being a perv or something.
What, on the show? On the show?
No,
in real life.
Yeah, that real actor hit his wife or girlfriend or something. Total scumbag. There was a reason he was not allowed in the actual house. And then finally, number 6, Boy Meets World. This followed the story of Corey Matthews as he navigates middle school through college. The show took place in the Philadelphia area, which is kind of why I had a little bit of a connection with it. It did run for 7 seasons, had 158 episodes. Similar to Full House, there was a sequel series titled Girl Meets World that ran on the Disney Channel for 3 seasons across 72 episodes. So that's our background. Dano, once again, welcome to RankEmz. I think we go ahead and get into it. So let's hear your
I'm going to jump in here real quick and throw a curveball. If we're okay with it.
Sure.
I'm going to start the first bet, stone cold mortal lock for number 6 till we agree here. If I'm wrong, I don't know. I lose the bet and I got to do something stupid. But can I go ahead and guess that we're going to agree on number 6 and throw it out there?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, Mark, you start with number 6, and then we'll swap it up after 6.
My only thing is I'm betting on number 6 being the same. You can only get us one stone cold mortal lock once in a while.
Yeah.
And for me, that's Dinosaurs, number 6. Come on.
Disagree. Disagree.
All right, well, you got to think what the penalty is. That'll maybe for another episode. So, all right, we'll go ahead and turn it around then. I'll start then. Number 6, Dinosaurs. Was it claymation? I don't really remember. All I remember is the little, not the mama, right?
Not the mama.
That's the only thing I can, and obviously that's been the most quoted probably of this entire stupid thing. But
I say it weekly.
I can't. Wait, to your children or trying to be funny?
Co-workers.
Oh, okay, yeah, in that case, it makes a lot more sense. I know nothing about the show. Can't remember anything about it. I even remember the time being like, "Come on, man! Can't something like some other show come on the third in the lineup?"
It was not claymation. It was live action. They were in suits.
Okay, so it was like the Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Probably less fancy, but close, yeah.
All right. Well, it was terrible. I lost a bet. We'll have to figure out what that penalty is. Number 6, Dinosaurs for me. Sorry, I blew it.
Yeah.
I stand not to, and I did.
So should I counter what he's saying, or should I just wait till I give my ranks?
Give us whatever feels right.
Yeah.
My number 6 is, and this might be unpopular, is Perfect Strangers. I never got into it, never identified with it. The only thing I remember is obviously Balky, which he was a pretty unique character. You got to give him that. You know, there's not a huge Mediterranean influence on TGIF, so you got to give credit where credit's due in that respect. But the only thing I really remember is Balky, Così Larry. I remember that, and then I remember what's his cousin, Larry, obviously, with the dumb mullet, the dumb curly mullet.
It was cool then.
From what I recall, it was just Balky would always screw things up, and then Cousin Larry had to come mop it up. Wasn't that kind of the thing? It was like he's always dealing with his hijinks.
It sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I also, that show to me had a little bit more, compared to these other ones, had more of an adult feel, which I think is probably why we did not identify with it as much.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
That was probably in the 9:30 slot on TGIF.
Could have been.
Yeah. I don't remember any type of episode, any plot. They're just kind of in the catacombs of my memory, so to speak. So unequivocally, number 6 is Perfect Strangers. They're imperfect strangers because I don't remember them.
Oh man, coming in hard there. Bronson Pinchot.
But they're also strangers, so I should know them.
Bronson Pinchot.
Yep.
Was the actor's name for a Balky Boltakimus from Meatballs. I always thought as a kid they were just like mispronouncing meatballs, like meatballs.
Oh, meatballs.
That's right. Yeah. It turns out it is a real place. I just looked it up. So the reason I looked it up is because we're not far off. That's number 5 for me. And you know, I have a. There's definitely, you're gonna notice as we go along. There's gonna be like a babe crush scenario, like because we were kids during a lot of this. And there is one thing. Wasn't Cousin Laddie always like trying to bring girls around, and Balky would just like blow it for him. I seem to remember like he was just like he always was striking out with the ladies just because Balky screwed it up somehow.
That sounds right. Balky was like an interloper, but they lived together, so he was just kind of like a mouse in the apartment. You know, he was trying. He just kind of feels like
if this was like Brooklyn today, he'd be that weird like European country squatter guy in your apartment that didn't really pay rent and never did laundry. he was just ahead of his time, right? Like,
do we know what his job was?
Yeah. He probably didn't have one. I'm looking at the thing. It's like from the credits. It says America or Bust, and he's on the back of like a wagon. It kind of has like a little bit of a Borat feel to it. I don't know.
Looks like he came with a handout.
I'm gonna go back and watch these episodes. I will say that, but yeah, you're not far off. Number 5. Don't remember much about it besides the stupid Balky Boltakimus from Meatballs and Cosinati. Like that's it. That's all I got. Bronson.
You got to give it to him for a show that none of us watched. Everyone remembers Balky, right? So like they did something right there.
Wait, sorry, not to put a too fine a point on it, but were they strangers? Like, how did they get hooked up? Is that why they?
Okay, I'm reading it now.
Yeah.
Wisconsin native Larry Appleton moved to his first apartment in Chicago. He enjoys his newfound privacy, but that privacy quickly vanishes when Balky Boltakimus, a previously unknown cousin from the Mediterranean island of Meatballs, shows up wanting to move in. Larry decides to mentor Balky. Okay, here we go. The two go close as time goes on, and they both have relationships that end in marriage. And then the show ended because it sucked.
Absolute trash plot.
All right, moving on.
Oh, wait, isn't there an Appleton, Wisconsin, too?
Yeah, I think that's probably part of the joke, maybe.
Okay.
What do you got?
Dano, number 5.
This was a tough one because I was actually kind of enamored by this, was Step by Step. There was plenty of characters in this, and Cody is definitely a memorable guy because he was, again, I think there's a common theme here that there's all these like side characters that are interlopers, guys that everyone kind of tolerates, but no one really, is enamored by. But I guess they were eventually enamored by him. in terms of the crush, as you mentioned, Marty, there was like a tomboy in there, this brunette girl that I had a crush on.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
She was later. She was later the sidekick for. Oh God, who's the guy that was on SportsCenter and then did the Daily Show? Blonde-haired, tall guy.
No idea. Beautiful family, though. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh! You're talking about Conan O'Brien.
No. Oh man.
Don't worry about it.
Wasn't
his dad was like Brian Duffy or something?
Yeah, that's
had
right.
Like an Alan. He had like an Alan Thicke, Al Borland thing going on. Wasn't he also like a handyman?
And Suzanne Summers was the mother, I believe. Correct.
Oof, don't even get me started.
The best thing I loved from that sitcom was the house. The external shot of the house was a house that I always wanted to live in. But then they had that nerd. The one of the kids was like a
the glasses nerd.
Yeah, translucent nerd.
Jellyfish skin.
Yeah, and it reminded me of a friend that I grew up with down the street.
Yeah.
But, step by step, it had some memorable moments. Maybe some classic characters. The only one really being Cody. But I got to put that number 5. I wasn't charmed by that show a whole lot.
Just to jump in, Craig Kilbourne.
I always remember him as the guy from Old School that was like the jerk and was like dating the girl. Yeah.
So he had a
good talksy out there.
He had a talk show that he like tried to redo in the 2000s sometimes, and that tomboy girl was his sidekick. I forget her name, but
you have a weird memory, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we this is a weird now. I think we're in step by step here. We're just one step off, Dano. Number 4, step by step for me. Again, I remember watching it a ton. Can't really name a plot other than like Cody coming in like and the live studio audience going wild like, sure. He was just kind of oh yeah, totally. He was just like an idiot or whatever. Heartthrob, but Suzanne Summers, man, that was like right at the heart, like the height of like she was like the mom babe days. The Thigh Master was probably she was probably rolling in it back then. The Thigh Master, Step by Step, had it all going. I don't really know what Suzanne Summers' career was prior to all that, but
Three's Company.
That's right. All right. That was dumb.
And what was the thing with the legs?
Thigh Master. That's what I just said. Sorry. The thing with the legs, he says. The Thigh Master that I mentioned 4 sentences ago.
Sorry.
No, but as a kid, I don't know what it was. Always just she made me feel funny. Like it was back before you really knew what girls were or whatever. It's 2021 before you knew what you were attracted to. But for me, it was like you were like 10, right? And you were just like, I don't know what it is, but that's cool. And then there was a couple other girls on the show that were, again, an recurring theme. It's like the babe on the show, whatever. But step by step, number 4, getting close to the middle of the pack here.
Okay.
Dano, hit us with that 4.
This might not be a popular one, but I'm going to go Boy Meets World. Again, you obviously had the female crush at Topanga. That's been, she's an internet sensation 20 years, 30 years later. Everyone is still talking about Topanga.
Danielle Fishel.
I did appreciate that there was that local aspect to it. It's something like you could relate. Like I think they did have references to I-76 and other Philly staples.
He was a Phillies fan. Corey Matthews.
Oh, he was a Phillies fan, right. Yeah. Again, we're going to get down to shows that I was really enthralled by, but this one was just kind of blah. Other than Topanga, there's not much to write home about.
Hubba.
I think you're going to disagree with that one, Marty, though. That's probably up there for you.
Well,
if I have to read the tea leaves.
Well, all right. This isn't made up. We didn't script this. That's number 3. Like we're one off. So my number 3 now is Boy Meets World. Again, the Philly thing. Topanga 100% carried that show for me. That was and also it was age relevant, right? Like Suzanne Summers was 54 when I was 10, whereas Topanga was 10 when I was 10, or whatever. You know what I mean? Fred Savage's brother, Ben Savage, played Corey, right? Ryder Strong, remember Ryder Strong? What was his buddy's name? Sean. I'm looking it up now. I don't have this great of a memory. As we're going, I'm kind of like looking some of this stuff up. It was Sean. It was his buddy.
Growing up, my favorite name was Ryder because of that guy, Ryder Strong. Yeah.
It's a great
His
name.
wasn't a Y. His was an I, not a Y. He was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And then you had what was the teacher? Mr. Feeney. That's right. And he was just
I forgot about Mr. Feeney.
He was just kind of a jag-off.
He was next.
But I think the reason.
Yeah.
The reason I think this was probably higher on the list for me versus like a Perfect Strangers or whatever, or even some of the others, forget Dinosaurs, it doesn't count, is because it was like age equivalent. Like it was like kids our age, whatever. Perfect Strangers, I didn't know what it was like to go around chasing girls around and have my cousin from Meepos blow it. Like it wasn't relevant to me. So yeah, number 3, we're starting to get into the meat of the order here, where it's like difficult to kind of pick these things, but. For Topanga to still be relevant, man, she had it going on back then. Can we at least all be honest about that?
Oh, yeah. No, listen.
That's unanimous consent on that.
2 thumbs up.
Unreal.
Wait, so you made it. I actually forgot about Mr. Feeney. Mr. Feeney lived right next door, right? But was also his high school teacher, right?
Yeah, I
He's
think
a teacher, yeah.
Social studies.
No, he's a teacher.
Right.
He was a teacher and then became the principal later in the series.
And there was always this weird dynamic between the two because the main guy, Savage character, was kind of like a rabble-rouser, but Mr. Feeney kind of tolerated and mentored him. And Mr. Feeney would always have like these life lesson nuggets, right?
Yeah. That sounds right. What's a rabble-rouser? Did you make that up, or am I
a rabble-rouser, like a rascal, like a class clown.
That was Dan's dictionary.com word of the day today.
You guys have never heard that word?
Yeah, no, I've certainly heard it.
Leave a comment below if you've never heard that, and we can.
I'm kind of going down the rabbit hole here, but Ethan Suplee, do you remember him from? He was apparently in it.
Yeah, he was like the bully.
Okay. I think of him from that other show with.
My Name is Earl.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like the ugly kind of bigger guy.
Dude, he was huge, and then just recently lost a bunch of weight and is now jacked.
Really?
Like, look up Ethan Suplee now.
I'm looking at it now.
Jacked.
Oh, but it doesn't matter how jacked you get. It still looks like a wet drape. hang on the front of you. No, that's not nice. He looks great.
Yeah.
God bless him. We love you, Ethan Suplee.
Hey,
we'd love to have you as a guest host next time around.
And then wasn't the thing?
What do you think?
And then wasn't the thing with Ryder Strong, Sean? He was from like the lower socioeconomic neighborhood, like it was a trailer park, right?
Yeah, I don't think he had a dad in his life.
Yeah, that's right.
Or I think the dad might have been in a couple episodes, but that was his thing. So he was a little bit more of a rebel, and he sometimes would pull Corey, Ben Savage, into like, awkward situations, and then a lot of times Feeney would try to get him out of it.
I know what I'm going to go down the Netflix rabbit hole here. I'm going to start Boy Meets World again here soon.
I think most of these TGIF shows are now on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more that you guys are bringing this up, the more I'm mining my memory of Boy Meets World, and it actually had some depth to it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll stick with 4, but.
Well, you blew it. You already blew it.
What was the one rule Marty gave you?
Don't blow it, and you can't redo. Rankings.
I didn't say I was going to redo it. I'll die on the hill, but now it gives me something to think about tonight.
Yeah.
And on the way to work tomorrow.
And for the rest of the week.
All right, Marty. So step by step was your 3, right?
Yeah, Dan's on 3.
Ping pong, right to Dano.
All right.
I think we're going to be back and forth this whole time because I don't know where Dinosaurs lands for you because that's the one like landmine. I'm waiting for it to come up. I can't believe it's this high.
I'm going to go Family Matters 3.
Okay.
Only because the other 2 I think are stronger candidates. I mean, Family Matters automatically has to.
Sorry.
Why are you frustrated?
Because that means Dinosaurs is in your top 2 of all these shows.
I have a valid reason for that. All right, just give me a second. Automatically has to go up to 3 because of Steve Urkel. Steve Urkel, again, with the Interlopers, he is probably the number one TV interloper in TV history, right?
Top 3, right?
I mean, I haven't really thought about it, but I can't think of any other interloper that's as significant as Steve Urkel.
I have to get the thesaurus out to know what you're talking about, but I think I agree. Can you know our audience, right? Can you use words that like maybe they would understand here?
You know what a meddler is? Like some guy that comes in.
I'm messing with you, but just use normal words on our show, please. Come in your show and use dumb words.
All right. Steve Urkel was the concept was a character that I don't think TV has ever encountered before. Obviously we've seen our nerds throughout television, but we haven't seen that type of like just guy that had no social functioning, nothing like that he has that relates to the outside world at all. Just a super unique character, very creative. That's what puts Family Matters up in 3. Obviously, there weren't a lot of shows. I mean, you started to see more shows that had African Americans in it, so that's obviously a good thing. It kind of put a window into Chicago, certain socioeconomic background. He was a police officer, middle class family. It was. I thought it was a very good, just a very good, different type of sitcom that wasn't really the norm. Before that. But Steve Urkel is obviously the glue that binds that show. So,
who was the older brother's friend?
Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo.
That's right.
But he was a fan favorite as well.
Hey, Waldo, sup? He always said sup, and he had that cool mustache. And he was a little shorter.
He was kind of dope, right?
Yeah,
he was definitely a dope. He was Eddie's buddy, but more on this later. I don't want to get to it. No, it's not.
There's another character that. Okay.
But Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo.
Hold on, one more thing. Do you remember Lieutenant
Murtaugh?
Was it Murtaugh? It was Murtaugh.
Murtaugh, I think. I don't know. I have to look this one up.
He was like,
this is one that I have.
He was the bumbling superior.
He was the lieutenant. He was just an idiot.
Yeah, he was an idiot. Yeah.
Murtaugh was loaded. Oh God.
Die Hard?
No.
We always get stuff wrong, like every week. Like I noticed in one of the comments, like a couple weeks ago, I mistook Yanni for Kenny G.
Yeah.
So it's not really that. It's not really that. Yeah, it's not really that big.
Isn't Lieutenant Murtaugh Lethal Weapon?
I don't know, but either way, you can't get too caught up in it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yanni, in my defense, Yanni and Kenny G look exactly the same. Okay, couldn't pick them out of a police lineup.
And also, in both of your defenses, you two didn't know this topic, so I should be the one that knows it, to be honest. So,
Dennis, right. You also called Yoshi Luigi the last episode.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's easy to critique sitting home on your sofa eating Doritos dipped in salsa. You know what I'm saying? Flavor overload. For everyone out there who doesn't know that reference, Dano's graduation party, they served Doritos and salsa. Blew my mind.
Who's they?
I don't know, whoever it was.
My mother did.
Aunt Maud. Oh, all right.
I think it was my mom.
Moving on. I don't know. I can feel the tense. It's getting tense in here. That was 3.
Number 2.
Number 2. I know this is going to be. It has to be your number 1 at this point by order of logic or deduction or whatever that is. Full House, number 2.
Unreal.
Yeah, well, you got Dinosaurs in number 2. It sounds like, but either way, a great show. It just happens to be in great company, right? Star-studded cast. Lori Loughlin, before she went to jail for what was she doing? Like, faking
college admission scandal.
She got her kids into college, and then that worked, so she made a business out of it or something.
Yeah,
she just lied.
Yeah, she lied. She lied and said that her daughter was on the rowing team, and just had a deal with the devil with the admissions counselor. She paid him a good sum of money, and she ushered the kid into UCLA.
USC.
Quick show of hands. Who didn't cheat?
USC, yeah.
Quick show of hands. Who here didn't cheat to get into college? I rest my case. Total babe, right? Still looks pretty good for 7,000 years old.
Lived in the attic.
Yeah. speaking of which, Uncle Jesse still got it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he's almost 60.
He's up there with like Mario Lopez, where like they go backwards in age or something like that. I don't know what it is, but Mario Lopez like literally could play on that show now and pass for younger than Elizabeth Berkley did then. Who else we got? Bob Saget, obviously. I was never like the biggest Bob Saget comedy guy. I know a lot of probably I'm the minority here on this call. I always like the clean, like dopey, like America's Funniest Home Videos, Bob Saget.
Yeah.
But pretty spectacular in that show. Didn't really care for his raunchy humor afterwards. The Olsen twins, I mean, you name it, right? I happen to live right down the street. I lived in that stupid city for a little while, San Francisco. Happened to live right down the street from the actual Full House. So could you imagine owning that house and having a bunch of idiots, like just lining up to take pictures every day? It's just not worth it. Bottom line, awesome show, very memorable. Who can forget Dave Coulier, God rest his soul.
What?
Cut it out.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
There's a story about him when he came to Westchester.
Is there?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'd love to hear it during your number one, hopefully, not Dinosaurs. Generally speaking, though, one of the most memorable shows that any of us, I remember it was on TBS, like the reruns, and it would come on 5 after the hour. Remember it was like 4:05, 5:05, whatever. It was like Saved by the Bell and that, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. And then Candace Cameron. Who can forget? Probably one of the top heartthrobs after Tiffany Amber Thiessen of the time frame. Her brother seems nuts, but I digress.
The neighbor was annoying. Kimmy Gibbler.
Oh, Kimmy Gibbler, yeah.
That one, yeah.
Oh, sorry. So she's kind of like the anti-Steve Urkel. I always found her not likable, whereas I enjoyed Steve Urkel.
Yeah, she sucked the air out of the room. Where when Urkel showed up, you're like, "This ought to be good. He's gonna get caught. He's gonna get car razzled." All right, yeah, awesome. Again, awesome show. Love it. But it's got to be number 2, and you'll see why here in a sec.
Candace Cameron married what? Pavel Bure?
Yep.
Right?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Candace Cameron Bure. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the fastest hockey players of all time. I remember in NHL '96 or something. It was just
super fast.
You couldn't touch the guy. All right, what do you got, number 2?
All right, number 2, I'm going Dinosaurs.
Okay.
Oh, God.
All right, just think of this objectively. Nothing was like Dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, they were good.
Shouldn't that carry any weight? This was a brand new sitcom, and there were humans in the suits, right? But the faces were like animatronics, and it's like you were actually transported to like the Jurassic period.
Yeah.
On a Friday night. And
more so than Jurassic Park.
Right,
that
correct.
felt more real to me than Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it definitely felt like I was right there in the mix of
Dennis, what years did Dinosaurs run? Do you have that data?
On TGIF, it was 90 to 93.
Yeah, okay.
I think there was one additional season where it wasn't in TGIF.
Right.
How it survived 3 years is mind-boggling to me.
But I think we should all be grateful to the creators of the Dinosaurs, because that sitcom really teed it up for Steven Spielberg to make Jurassic Park. The dinosaur sitcom kind of whetted the appetite of viewers across America, and then after that, Spielberg was probably like, okay, there's something here with the dinosaurs.
No, actually, you are totally correct. In fact, just after that sitcom, Michael Crichton wrote the novel Jurassic Park, inspired by Dinosaurs, the sitcom, and then Spielberg got a hold of it.
Right? That's good knowledge by you, because Michael Crichton was he was like he was kind of like the consultant to the script of Dinosaurs.
I remember that.
If you go back and download all the scripts from all the episodes, they are pretty like scientifically accurate in terms of how dinosaurs, came into being and all that. I think
how dinosaurs came into being and all that.
I just think the way the costumes were, it was kind of funny. The baby obviously was, I think, kind of funny. He was sassy, and and again, that influenced Family Guy and the sassy baby there. So underrated in terms of influence, to culture as a whole. But
You do that one more time and I'm going to throw you across the room.
Actually, it looks pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is, if we turned it on now, we'd probably watch 15 minutes and be done with it. But I remember at the time it was something new to watch, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I put number 2. I think it was an important cultural institution.
Yeah, that's a big word to describe that. Now, while I don't agree that that's number 2, I also don't. On my list, I don't think it would be my number 6. But you know, I appreciate the insight there.
On this list, I mean, I flip flop between Perfect Strangers and that, but it's not number 2. Give me a break.
I thought that was
Doofus Dano ranks at number 2.
The meteor came crashing to Earth and killed all the dinosaurs quicker in that show than it did in the Cretaceous period.
I guarantee I'm going to be getting a lot of cards and emails in support of what I just said.
Yeah,
we're going to give you a lot of support.
I am going to give out your home address so you can get your fan mail. So that'll be down in the links below.
You got it.
We all know.
$12.90.
We're going to have to figure that one out. All right. Moving on here. I mean, you know what it is already, right?
Of course.
You know what it's got to be?
Yeah.
Family Matters. And I've also been on a recent Family Matters kick. That's one show of these that I've been watching kind of semi-recently, not like yesterday, but within the last 6 to 12 months. You nailed it with Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo. I think he went to culinary school because he made like the most gourmet pasta sauce out of ketchup. He figured it out somehow. And then he went to culinary school. What I love though was obviously Urkel, right? In his early days was like, got any cheese?
Did I do that?
And then it became, did I do that? And then,
Yes, you did.
And then it kind of became,
You did.
yeah,
Urkel.
well, yeah. Remember, but he stopped liking cheese at one point, which is weird. Like, I feel like in later episodes he stopped asking for cheese.
Lactose
And
intolerance.
then maybe his allergies changed. The other thing was Stefan Urkel. Remember when he would like take the glasses off and he became that heartthrob or whatever? And he was so in love with Laura. And I think she finally, I don't know, at some point, Harriet convinced her to go to the dance with him. But
Laura, you gotta go to the dance.
yeah. Oh, Harry. He would come home. Did Carl?
Harry, I had no idea that was going to happen.
Did Carl ever have a good day at work?
Come on, Chicago
Did he ever come home?
PD. Doing God's
Did he
work.
ever come home not just complaining about everything? And like, what are these things about a lot of these sitcoms back then, like Married with Children, that one, whatever? Like, how do they afford these houses in normal neighborhoods?
Right.
With like 19 kids. Like Al Bundy was a shoe salesman. What the heck is going on here? And then there was Julie, I think was the little sister in like the early episodes. And then she disappeared. And they never had like any like plot line for where she went. It was just like one season there was no little sister.
You know what happened to
She was
her?
gone.
You know what happened to that actress in real life?
Was it like adult films or something?
Yeah, she went on to do some adult films.
But I don't think that was like then.
No, like once she was of age, but like, yeah.
Is that true?
You're my... I think, but Dennis is definitely the authority on adult people to do adult films.
Yeah, I know them all.
Like Screech. Didn't Screech? Actually, Screech
yeah.
He died, yeah, he passed away.
Screech just recently died.
Ah, heavens.
Didn't he get into a bar fight? Something?
He got stabbed. He got stabbed.
He got stabbed, yeah.
But he had
Dustin
cancer and just passed. God rest his soul.
Jeez. Dustin Diamond.
Oh, geez, Zach.
And then the other thing was it Aunt Rachel and she had a little kid, Joey? Or remember Aunt Rachel?
Yep.
And she had like a diner. It was like the superimposed like fake like rotating diner screen, Rachel's place.
Oh.
Like where did they live? Did they live on like the 3rd floor or something? I don't know. The whole thing was a bug. And you never saw Urkel's family.
No.
But I digress. If any of these shows, if you want to sit down and just rattle off and kind of binge watch, that's the one for me. And it was probably on for the longest, if not close. Well, Full House is probably right up there too. But all in all, Family Matters, I can go back and watch today.
Longest running out of these, 215 episodes across 9 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Full House is the second longest, 192 across 8.
Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, Married with Children. There was a lot of Chicago sitcoms back then.
Yeah.
I don't know where a lot of these other ones were. Well, Full House was San Francisco and Boy Meets World. Where was Step by Step?
That was Wisconsin somewhere, I believe.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, look, can't take Family Matters away from me. You can have any pride for my cold, dead fingers. So that's a wrap. That's a list for me.
All right, Dano, number one.
Unequivocally, this was, I didn't really have to consider anything. It's 100% Full House. My sister and I used to watch this ad nauseum. I started to collect the DVDs, but then streaming came about. But this is, I've probably seen obviously every episode, maybe maybe twice, or maybe 3 times. Danny Tanner. I mean, I legit thought
you can't even get the words out.
I legit thought he was funny
in that show.
Yeah,
yeah.
The funniest joke that he ever said, and I still use it, and I try to give credit to him when I can, is Steph and DJ are screaming and fighting in their bedroom. And Danny Tanner comes in. He goes, "Girls, girls, girls! I just got a call from the airport complaining about the noise."
Oh, you actually do still use that. Except it's funny because when you do it, nobody laughs. It's funny.
Hashtag dad joke.
I've gotten good feedback on that.
You have.
I have.
You know what? I didn't think about until right now. Like the Olsen twins, they weren't twins in the show. It was just one character.
Correct.
Just alternate.
Yeah.
It was because at that age,
Child labor laws, they could only work for a certain number of hours. So you basically got a 2-for-1 special. They hit the home run, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Well, what about the other kids? The little Timmy and Tommy or whatever. The
little twins, yeah.
That came later.
Nikki and Alex.
Yeah. They just, you would only get the single amount of hours. I don't know.
So they were just in like every other episode or something?
But yeah, they also weren't as central of characters,
Every character had merit. Obviously, Danny Tanner, Uncle Jesse, and the Rippers was, everybody remembers Uncle Jesse and the Rippers and that music video he did, I guess, to swoon Rebecca. What was it? If everything could make you laugh, I'd laugh forever. It's kind of imprinted in a lot of people's minds.
Or one of the 3 of us.
Yeah, that's plausible too. DJ was DJ. Steph ran the car into the kitchen. That was a memorable episode. Dave Coulier cut it out. He had like 5 jokes that he recycled, but they were just so corny that it worked. Then he was a puppeteer for the woodchuck, and he would have these puns about wood.
Didn't DJ get a beer sprayed on her at a party, and they thought she was drinking?
That sounds right.
Beer on her.
Who was the boyfriend?
Oh,
that always ate all the food.
It was Scott Wagner in real life. I forget what his name was.
He made a recurrence in the Fuller House sequel,
which was, yeah,
bad.
Kimmy Gibbler, I thought was very funny. Again, she was the interloper, the one that would get involved in the family affairs, and nobody really wanted her. Danny Tanner especially hated her. Dave Coulier, they were just, every character had its own merit, and
Steve, the boyfriend
Steve, yeah. Steve's thing was he'd always eat the food. He was always hungry.
Yep.
Wake Up San Francisco, I could go on all night till the sun comes up about Full House. So Full House is number 1 for me. No mystery.
There's nothing wrong with Full House is number 1 on this list. You blew a couple of them. You didn't blow that.
What was the rent situation though?
I don't know. I remember Uncle Jesse had like the bunny like wallpaper though. Did he?
At first, and then when he got married, he moved up to the attic.
Must have had a pretty boss house.
Is that because of the skyrocketing, rental and homeowner ownership prices in San Francisco during that time? Like nobody moved.
No, that house has to be like $4 million today.
So it was because the wife died, and they both moved in to help out, right?
That's right.
So I don't think they actually were paying rent. I think their rent was paid in childcare, helping out, that kind of stuff.
I think you're right.
Well, Wake Up San Francisco was probably a pretty lucrative paycheck.
Yeah. He was the breadwinner because Uncle Jesse and Dave Coulier were in the arts. Well, Becky was on the show too. I don't know.
We digress.
A lot to talk about.
That's a RankEmz in the book. So Birdman, what's the structure here? Do you pick a winner? What are we doing here?
No, listen. Like every week, there's not a winner. It's up to the fans to kind of decide. which
We're all losers here.
which you two jackasses ranked better.
Look, we're all losers. Everybody knows it. This is what we're doing on a Monday.
I think this was enjoyable, though. I want to thank Dano again for joining us here.
It was awesome.
I hope you
had a blast.
I hope you enjoyed the experience. Hope you enjoyed the topic. I hope it was relevant. You seem to know a lot about a lot of these shows, so I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you give your top 6? Do you have any right off the cuff there?
No. For these guest episodes, I think we're just going to keep it to you two.
Yeah, right. But what's your number 1 though?
Full House is my number 1 for sure.
There you go.
Full House 1, Perfect Strangers 6. The rest of them kind of go 2 to 5.
All right, so I think we equally shit on Perfect Strangers as a group here.
Yeah.
But it might have just been not relevant to us at the time. I do want to go back and check out one, but it's probably terrible.
Yeah, I think part of that was it was more of an adult show compared to these others that were kind of more geared towards kids and teenagers. So, all right. Well, thanks again, guys, for everything on this episode. I'll go ahead and wrap it up here.
And thanks, Dano. You did great during the only 30 minutes you're ever going to get on the show because ain't going to be no next time, buddy.
Yeah, just shoot me an email with other dates you need.
Yeah. Will do.
I'll let you know my availability, and we'll talk.
Yeah, February 30th. We need somebody February 30th.
Send me your agent's name, and then we'll get in touch with the agent. We'll make sure we set everything up.
Yes.
So
okay. All
right. Thanks to everyone out there. Thanks for joining us on RankEmz this week. We look forward to being back every Monday with a new RankEmz list. Thanks to all of our followers. Please smash that like button, share, and if you enjoy our content. Please follow us on all social media apps at RankEmz Podcast. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchats. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All links will be listed below by our producer and engineer, Smitty. Thanks for everything he does. Thanks again for listening. We'll be back next week. Bye, Wheelz. Bye, Dano.
See you guys. Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
See ya.